Hello everyone, welcome to the Tailored Expressions YouTube channel. It's Taylor here today, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about these boxed-in basics panels. So these are pre-printed designs onto 100-pound sugar cube cardstock. I've had a lot of fun playing with them recently, and I wanted to show you some of the favorite techniques that I came up with. So you can see here, I'm starting with Tailored Expressions ink in 3 different colors. I'm using Lemon Meringue, Lollipop, and Cookie Monster, and I'm using a set of stencil brushes to brush the background with color. You can see I'm only using 3 colors of ink, but my background has 5 colors on it, because when the blue mixes with the pink, you get purple, and when the yellow mixes with the pink, you get orange. Now for those of us who still like to fussy cut every now and then, I decided to go ahead and take my scissors and cut around the outside of this scalloped border. So you could add a sentiment along the inside of this panel with one of our bubble greeting stamps. You can see when I finish cutting this out that it makes a really beautiful backdrop for an A2 size card. Now next up, I've taken one of our panels from the Boxed In Basics 2 stamp set and several of my Copic markers. Now our panels are printed, as I mentioned, on 100-pound sugar cube cardstock, which is alcohol marker compatible. That means it works great with your Copic markers, and it also works wonderfully with colored pencils and Gamsol as well. So I've started with the green here. I'm using YG13 and then YG17 to add some accents. The yellow is Y35 with accents of YR23. Then for the hot pink, I have a little bit of RV17. The orange here is YR14. And then after that, I'm going to add some accents with the R81 and a little bit of shading with R83. Now you can see after you finish this up, it's going to create a really beautiful border. Again, you could stamp a sentiment from our Bubble Greeting Spring stamp set to fill the inside of that panel. Next up, I have another panel from our Boxed In Basics 2 set. I've pre-colored that with YG13 and YG17, and then I've die cut several of the tulips from our Little Bits Flowers and Stems die set. I'm going to take a little bit of the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and just add dots in a pattern around the outside of that vine. Then I'm going to take my picker tool and go ahead and adhere the tulips to the dots of glue that I laid down. This Nuvo Deluxe adhesive is fast becoming one of my favorites. I love the fine-tipped nozzle on it, and it also works really well. So another one of my favorite tricks to try with die-cut pieces is to use my Copic markers to add a little bit of detail to those die-cut pieces. I think it adds just the right amount of dimension, as you can see here. I've again colored the background with Copic marker, and then I'm going to use some of my Nuvo Crystal drops to add dots to the outside edge of that frame. Now when you're putting these down, you just want to put your nozzle straight up and down, perpendicular towards your paper, and then pull up off of that. And then when you're finished adding the liquid, you can kind of tap your finger on the back to get those dots to settle. Now, because these are pre-printed with a toner-based printer, that means you can foil them. So I got out my decal foil and my Mink, and I put this through, which you will see produces a really beautifully foiled backdrop. I did several so you could see lots of different options. So here are all the different designs I came up with today. There are so many more things you could do. I hope you learned a little bit and you try this out. You can find everything at tailoredexpressions.com.